What can you get in Fort Worth, Texas, in new construction for under $500,000? You might be surprised with what all we have to offer here in Fort Worth under that price point. And how low can we go? You're going to be shocked, actually. So I'm going to dig into the numbers. I'm also going to show you some of my properties around town. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to show you some of my favorite builder incentives. So let's get into it. So I have brought you into my MLS computer, my Netris database, to show you some things about the new construction here in Tarrant County and what we have going on. So if you can see this right here. So as you can see right here, in 2023, we were at 420,000 as a median sales price for new construction. Then we went down to 393, and then we went down to 389, 480. Okay, so we've gone down in price in the last couple of years for new construction homes. That's great for buyers, absolutely. What else can we look at? Original list price, again, down 11%. That's amazing. Percent of original price. And these are all the homes that have been listed in MLS. There are a lot of builders that may not put their homes in MLS, so we don't have all the data for all the builders, but this gives us a good picture. 97, 98% of list price. That does not mean that they're not giving all kinds of incentives away. That just means they haven't gone a lot below the price. Now, the reason a lot of times that builders do not want to mess with the price and reduce the price is because of appraisal values. So they want to keep their appraisal values higher, and they may give you other types of incentives. So they might do money to cash to close. They might give you options in design, money towards design, money to buy down the rate. They would rather do those things instead of decrease the price. So what's our month supply look like? We had 3.5 in 2023, and we're up to 3.8. What does that mean? It means that there's more inventory on the ground. And again, great for buyers. How many homes for sale? Look at this. So we had in June, had 779 in 2023, and then we had 827 2024, then we had 867. Okay, so we went from 780 to almost 100 more in the month of June over June, okay, 2023 to now. So we're increasing the number of homes for sale on the market, and that means, again, great deal for buyers as you are looking at new construction homes. Price per square foot has pretty much stayed the same. It really hasn't changed really at all, June over June, and so I guess that may be good, maybe bad. Closed sales, we are down on the closed sales. Okay, so again, that means that builders are probably more likely to make a deal. Definitely. So that gives us an idea of what's going on in the new construction market in Tarrant County for new construction homes as far as the sales. Let's look at a website that you may or may not know exists. So this is like a new home MLS. Okay, so a lot of the builders are on this site that I'm showing you right now. And on this site, you can look by homes and you can look by communities. So Tarrant County, we have over 1,000 homes listed on this site. And I narrowed it down, 240 and above. Okay, the reason I did that, and I'll kind of show you price-wise. So the reason I put it at a minimum of 240,000 is because if you go below that, you're looking at manufactured homes. So if you want to look at that, you can go below 240,000, but you can get a brand new construction home. Now it's going to be a smaller square footage, maybe 1,500 square feet or even 12, but it's a brand new construction home here in Tarrant County, which encompasses Fort Worth, Hurst, Euless, Bedford, Arlington, let's see, Grapevine, Colleyville, Southlake, Crowley. I'm trying to think of all the cities in between Saginaw, Watauga, Haltom City, North Richmond Hills. Goodness. So we have a bunch of cities in Tarrant County, and that's why I wanted to encompass the whole county to give you an idea. And so in this county, we have community. Let's just start with the price. Let's go down to price. So 289, 890. Okay, and that is for Mattamy Homes in Deer Creek. That is in Crowley. Okay, that's in an area called Crowley. So starting at under 300,000. Now, if we expand our county list to include a few other counties, let's see what happens when we do that. If we do that, we actually can go even lower. And so if we include Cleburne, which is Johnson County, that's going to go down to 256. Okay, 256 for a brand new construction home. That's Century Communities down in Cleburne. Now, Cleburne, if you take the toll and come up the toll into Fort Worth, it might take you 30, 45 minutes. Okay, but you could live in Cleburne and still work in Fort Worth or on the south side. You could live in Cleburne and you could work in Burleson. Okay, you could live in Cleburne, maybe even go to Waco. And so it's not a terrible place to live. And if you're coming from California and you had a 2-hour commute to work, this is nothing in Texas. We have some pretty convenient places there. Pilot Point. That's Pilot Point. Is that in the area I'm looking for? Yeah. Okay, so that's north actually, Pilot Point. And that'd be way north. Let me show you the map and show you what this looks like when we go out of the area. Let me show you the expanded version of this. So the further out you go, the cheaper the price, right? And the longer your commute. It's just plain and simple. The closer you are to the downtown areas, the more it's going to be to buy the home. This new construction or resale, doesn't matter. But you can be at a comfortable commute and still at a really good price with our new construction homes here in Tarrant County and even Denton, Wise, Parker, and Johnson. Now, Parker's going to be more expensive overall on new construction. That's where Aledo is. Aledo ISD is top rated, top in academics, top in athletics. It's just like one of the biggest. And then Northwest ISD, they're going to have a really great school system. And that is actually, you could get some halfway decent properties there. My internet does not want to pull this up, or maybe I have too much that I'm trying to pull up. Okay, I have so many results. It was taking forever for this to pull up. So let me widen this out and show you. Okay, look at all these. So these are all the homes, okay, in and around Tarrant County. All right, so yeah, I just have too many to pull up. So I'm going to eliminate some of these counties. So let's go back to Tarrant and just let's see if we get a little faster result. Okay, yeah, a little bit faster. So you see a lot of them down south in Johnson County. Okay, that's where you're going to find a lot of deals down there. If you go, let's move it to communities instead of homes. This might help us out. If I change it to communities instead of homes. All right, yeah, that's going to help out a little bit. Okay, so now you see, now I'm going to add those counties back because I do want you to see the comparison. Okay, Denton, Parker, and Wise. So these are communities. All these dots are communities. And this is up in the Denton County area up here. This is going to be Tarrant. And then you're going to get down into Parker and Hood down here. I'm sorry, Parker and Johnson down here. So as you can see, here's Fort Worth. Here's the center of Fort Worth. And you have to go at least a little bit out to get to a new build community. Okay, so here's one, Trails at Waterside. Minimum price, almost $600,000. Minimum price, okay? But it's really convenient. That is over by Whole Foods. It is near City View. It is 10 minutes to downtown, maybe, because you can get on the toll right there. You're gonna pay for that convenience, right? And then on the other side, closer to the airport, you got Hillwood. Again, $500,000 starting price. Yeah, higher. You go out to Parker County, closer to Parker County. This is Vista West by LGI. LGI is going to be more of a starter home price point, $317. $317 for a brand new construction home. 1,100 square feet, though, 1,200 square feet, tiny. Okay, it's going to be small, but you can start home ownership for under $325,000 in Tarrant County. That's pretty exciting, I think. I think it's pretty exciting. Then you go a little bit further. You know, if you go down to, let me show you a little bit more. When you get down into Parker County, it's not cheaper. It's going to be more out in Parker County. Land is just simply more in Parker County. But if you go southwest, sometimes you can get a little lower. Rio Vista is not lower. Okay, here's Crescent, under 300,000 in Crescent. So if you're coming into Fort Worth, Crescent is not that bad. It's like, if you're coming into the south side of Fort Worth, that's 30 minutes, okay? Not bad at all. Coming to downtown, maybe 45 minutes, okay? You can totally do that in Crescent Estates. And that, again, is smaller homes, but even still, all the way up to 2,700 square feet, $370,000, and that's also LGI, okay? And then when you get down to Godly, okay, so here's the Chisholm. Here is the Chisholm toll, and that is now a main vein to get you into Fort Worth from some of these communities that used to be considered way out there. Okay, I was just down in Godly, which is right here. Here's the toll. So Godly has some great properties down here. Coyote Crossing, Bloomfield, great builder. Oh my gosh, it's semi-custom. In other words, you can choose, you have your choices of finishes, okay? Whereas LGI, you're not gonna have any choices. As far as, let's see, Star Ranch is also, Bloomfield has a few properties down here in Godley. Godley is literally about 23 minutes from where I live now on the southwest side of Fort Worth. So it's really not that bad. So you can go Godley and come across and get up on the Chisholm, and it's not bad at all, okay? Then you've got, who is this? This one's a little higher, Silo Mills. They have a high public improvement district or MUD, PID or MUD. They have a high one from what I've heard, FYI. Word to the wise, but hey, it's a sought after community. I know people who are trying to sell their house right now in Cleveland to try to get into Silo Mills, probably because of the school district. Joshua and Burleson school districts are great. They are great school districts. Here in Joshua, we have Mockingbird Hills. And then we have, that's also, I think Bloomfield is down there. And this is more towards Cleburne. Oh, look at that. This is by Legend Homes, 275,000, and that is 1,400 square feet. Yeah, it's small, but it's a way to start. So when you get out on the edges, kind of further out, you can get some really good deals. Let's go a little closer in. Let's say you want to be 20 minutes to downtown. That would be this area right here. See if I can get it to stop doing that. Right in here, below Wedgwood, Candlewood, Crowley area. So you got some good options down here. You've got Summer Crest, which is Chesmar, Landsea. Trying to think who else is over there. Well, actually, no, I don't think it's them. Hewland Trails, one of my favorite communities. Okay, Hewland Trails. I mean, look at the price point. And I did a video on Hewland Trails Bloomfield Element Series, which starts at $330,000. Okay, and they're doing some incredible deals right now on their design upgrades that they're including for free. So you won't be spending a lot of extra money to get some upgraded features, okay? And that's on both of their series, on the Classic and on the Element series out there. Well, any Bloomfield community right now. But Hewland Trails is a great price point. It's about 20 minutes downtown. It's about 10 minutes or so to the Southwest Medical District. A lot of medical people might want to live over there on that side of town. On the other side of the Chisholm, you have Tesoro at Chisholm Trail. So you've got Meritage and Trophy over there at Tesoro. So both of those builders have insane deals usually all the time. Can't really pick anything. It is what it is. It's an inventory mass-produced home, but at a great price point. Solid builder, solid customer service, solid warranty, okay, on both of those builders. So that's Tesoro at Chisholm Trail. Right there at this area, let me blow this up a little bit. Right here on McPherson, they're going to have two major grocery stores. They already have everything. They have Chili's, they have Chick-fil-A, they have a Ross, they have an Ulta, they have, oh my gosh, I can go on and on. They have a ton of restaurants. They have all kinds of conveniences right here by all this Studio Movie Grill. It's pulling up, of course. And then, so all of that is right here. So Hewland Trails is down here and Tesoro at Chisholm is right here, okay? Then Summercrest is right here in between. Who's Summercrest? At Landsea, and I think Chesmar is over there. Again, two great builders. So this south side of downtown is great. Caveat, Fort Worth ISD, Crowley ISD, they're not top rated ISDs. So if you're looking for the top rated schools, may not be the area, but if you don't care about the school district, if it's not that big of a deal, or if you can put your child in a private school, which we have several close by. So right by here, let's see if I can show you that. Not Crowley Clover. Okay, so right up here is Southwest Christian. Right over here is Trinity Valley. So Southwest Christian, Trinity Valley are within maybe 10 minutes of Hewland Trails and those areas down there, and Tesoro at Chisholm Trail. Those are two right there. Country Day is not too far. And then All Saints is also not too far. So there are like 4 private schools that I know of right off the top of my head that are really close. If you wanted that option, you could absolutely do that. If you want to live on that side of town, if you need to, and you want to be that close, and you want a really good price point on a new construction home, that part off the Chisholm is a really great value. Now, even closer to town is Tavolo Park. Now, prices are not as low. You've got David Weekley, you have Highland, beautiful, great builders over there. Shattuck Homes, all great builders in Tavolo Park. It's really conveniently located to downtown, medical district, all of that stuff, and hop onto 20 to go to Dallas. Pretty easy access, okay? But again, not small price point. It's going to be 500, 550, 6, 7, 8 probably. It's a beautiful, beautiful community. If you need to be on the north side. So I've had a lot of people with interest on the north side. If my map will load, there we go. So let's say you want to be near the tech corridor and you want a deal. You want to pay less for a home than say Pecan Square. Then you could look at a couple options. Okay. Wildflower, okay, the Preserve, yes. So the Preserve's KB Homes and MI, they are a little lower price point, just right on the edge of Justin. And again, this is going to be for people wanting to go to the Tech Corridor, the Alliance Corridor, if you are going into Westlake, South Lake, all that area, maybe to the airport. Those are all good options up here, okay? So the Preserve, you've got Treeline. The builders at Treeline right now, there are 8 of them. And all 8 of them have probably the lowest prices on their homes of anywhere in the Metroplex in Treeline, because they are wanting to get that community off the ground. It's going to be an amazing community because it's going to be done by Hillwood. So it's going to have amenities over the top. They're going to have their HOA people on site. It's going to be really well done. Okay, it's just getting off the ground though, because they don't have any amenities started, but they want to get some people in there. So they are slashing their prices and they are doing deals. So let me know, okay, if you want to check them out. And by the way, I haven't even said who I am. I am Elizabeth Oliva. This is the Fort Worth Home Tours. And we get calls and texts by people just like you every single day, looking to make a move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if you're moving in 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, go ahead and give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, or book a Zoom. The details are below of how to do that. And check out some of the reviews of some of the people I have helped recently. If you're wondering if a realtor could help you with new construction, check out my reviews. Okay, so moving on. If you're on the north side, the Preserve could be an option if you want a lower price point. Treeline is going to have massive value because of all the amenities. You get in now, you're going to build instant equity because you're going to be one of the first movers into the community. Absolutely great deal. Another great one is Timberbrook. Timberbrook has 60-foot wide lots, 60-foot wide lots, and their prices are not terrible. Okay, they're definitely lower than Pecan Square and Harvest. So $417 to start. Okay, so they've got Impression out there, builds a solid value home. They've got Bloomfield. They now have Pace Setter out there. There may be one other, Sandlin. Sandlin's on the higher end, okay? But you've got some great options in Timberbrook. Now, it doesn't have over-the-top amenities, but it's a beautiful community. And it's got trails, hiking trails. It's got a pool. It's got an amenity center. So if you don't need all the over the top amenities of like a Pecan Square or a Treeline, and you want a more quiet community, Timberbrook might be the one for you. You also have out this way, wait, let's get down here, Wildflower. Okay, so you've got several builders at Wildflower Ranch. Everything from Lennar all the way up to Highland and Coventry. You've got price points, you know, $330, you got Beezer, you get $335 all the way up to probably $800 or more. Toll Brothers, like $1 million. Okay, all kinds over there at Wildflower. So Wildflower could be a good option possibly if you're working the tech corridor. What if you're coming into the north side of Fort Worth and in Rhome, I'll just talk about the community up there, Reunion and Bluestem. Reunion is another value spot. So let me show you where that is. Okay, so Rhome. Okay, this is Rhome up here, and for whatever reason, I don't know why it's not showing my community because that is Wise County. I'm pretty sure, maybe it's Jack County. Rhome has American Legend and Perry and Union, Maine. Perry is one of my absolute favorite builders. So Rhome is going to be one of their best value locations. They still have 60, they may even have 70-foot lots, okay, out there. The price point for their homes out there is going to be the best price point for Perry in the Metroplex, except for maybe Midlothian on the other opposite end, okay? But if you want a beautiful Perry home and maybe you're coming into the north side of Fort Worth, maybe you're going to Lockheed or just like I-20 and I-35-ish area, and even in a downtown, actually, even in a downtown might take you about 35 minutes. It's really not that bad of a location. It's out, and again, it's going to be a beautiful community. They're just getting started, and it's going to be 10,000 homes up there. They're going to have a HEB on the corner of the community. Yes, they're going to have an HEB right there. So great value. Contact me if you want to know what's happening on the ground in Reunion, what the specials are, what they have going on, but another great community. What can you get? Let's go back to the under 500,000. Let's go into the list. So here we have communities. Crowley. Hunter's Ridge, under 500. Let's go to here. I'm going to make it under 500. Live filter. Let's see what we got. We are going to have, I can tell you, we're going to have several. 112 communities under $500,000, homes under $500,000 in Tarrant and surrounding counties, which is Fort Worth and surrounding area on the west side of DFW, the FW part, all the way down to Cleburne, Godley, Venus, all of those areas. Okay. So again, you know, you're going to have areas that are lower priced when you go further out. So Cleburne, 256, Pilot Point, Ponder, those are out. Those are further out. Deer Creek, hey, that's Crowley. That is a really good price point, and that is relatively close in. Another Crowley, under 300,000. That's great. Near Crowley, 76140. That's also great price point. And you really can get some great starter homes for that price point. Now, if you want to get further in, closer in, and you want a nicer home, you still could actually probably get it in Ventana, depending on the price point or depending on the builder. Look at this, Lancy in Crowley, Summercrest, 405, tops 405, under 500,000. And that is down there off the Chisholm. So it's like 20 minutes downtown. That is a great value. I mean, there are a ton of communities in Fort Worth under 500,000. We could go, we can even talk about under 450 or 400 if you want to go there. So lots of options. The best part is going to be for builder, the best value is going to be builders that have inventory on the ground. And so depending on the builder, depending on the very moment that you're calling me, I can find out what is happening on the ground. This site is great for starting a research, but everything is not necessarily up to date on this site. I can get you a link to this site, just DM me, call me, text me, and I can set you up where you can see the same site that I am looking at. But the thing is, to really, really know, you got to make some calls. And that's what I do, is I get on the phone. First thing I do is ask you a lot of questions. Find out what exactly you're looking for, what area, when, and then I get on the phone and I call the builders. I found out exactly what they have. And if you're coming into town, if you're not here and you're coming into town, we set it all up so we can go tour these builders. You can get the information firsthand from them. I can set up FaceTime tours also if you can't make it into town, but you do want to see them and you want to get a little closer look than just the videos that I've done, and you want me to walk through some inventory homes with you. I can do that. I've done that for several people. So it's exciting to see that we have so much to offer under 500,000. Most people are looking for homes with 4 to 5 bedrooms, or 4 bedroom study, game room, media room, 2-story, big homes. I have families who are looking for that. So if you are, just know there's some value here, and it can be under $500,000 on a brand new construction home. And so what does that mean? What are you going to get for a new construction home? Well, some of the deals that I have done recently, I can tell you earlier this month, we got $20,000 off of the already slashed discounted price of the home. Then they got blinds, they got a full appliance package, they got epoxy coating on the garage floor, all of that included for the price. Knocked of the $10,000 premium off of the lot. Okay, that was one deal. Another deal, they got temporary buy down and permanent buy down of 2.99 the first year, 3.99 the second year, 4.99 permanent after that. And the price was already slashed because it was an inventory home. They did get the full appliance package, fridge, washer, dryer. Let's see. And then the other one discounted $189,000 off of the list price, $189,000. So when I tell you builders are willing to negotiate right now, they are. And you need a good negotiator to help you do that. I can ask all the right questions. There are questions that I think about that usually, sometimes people don't even know they need to ask. One in particular, a situation I can think of right now, is we were at the closing table and they were the notary was going over the paperwork with my buyers who were coming in from out of state. So the piece of paper said that the builder had not paid for the extra survey insurance on the title policy. And they said, do we need that? I said, hold on, let me go get the title attorney to explain it to you so you know whether you want to purchase it or not. So I brought in the title attorney who gave them an amazing explanation of exactly what it was and his opinion. He bought the same builder home himself previously, like in the last year or two. So he was giving his own personal experience plus the legal side of it. And they decided not to purchase the extra insurance. They at least knew what they were looking at. They did not even know to ask that question. I did, and I had it cleared up for them. Now, on a resale home, I almost always advise to get the extra insurance. It's a long sentence that is on the contract that is called, it's to amend or not amend, or will amend or not amend. And it's really amounts to about 10% of the title policy amount, and it's usually worth it, okay? Just in case there's some issue. And that's if it's a resale, something could come up from the past, okay? And so you want to make sure you have a little, that survey insurance. On a new construction home, not necessarily as big of a deal, but at least they knew what all it was about. That's some of the stuff that I encounter, and sometimes people don't understand or don't know even to ask the right questions. You know, with a builder walkthrough, a blue tape walkthrough, you know, if they're not here and I can help them by doing a FaceTime with them, with the inspector. Do you need to get an outside inspector if you're having a home build? Yeah, you do. And I can explain how and why you want to do that. So those are some of the things I can provide as your representative, with your fiduciary representative, with the full force of my brokerage behind me, 13 brokers in the state of Texas, to help you and answer any question you have and handle negotiating for you. And ask for whatever we want to ask for. And builders right now are even reducing the price. A lot of them don't want to reduce the price, like I mentioned before, appraisal value. They don't want to mention the price or reduce the price because of the appraisal value, but they might throw in blinds. They might throw in the appliance package if we ask. There are a lot of things, if you ask for them, you might get them. Very, very important to ask these things. So I told you towards the end, I would show you some of my favorite deals right now. I'm going to show you that. Okay. So I want to show you, before we wrap up, some of the deals that are going on right now on some beautiful homes. Now, some of these they're going to be more than the price point we were talking about, but I just want to show you the slashing of prices that is happening right now. So here at Perry Homes, this is in Ventana, which is 20 minutes from downtown. Here is a 2,500 square foot home, and it's a little bit over 500, 529.9, 530,000. Okay. And it was 600,000, and they may still have incentive money on this home. Usually what I have to do is call on every single inventory home. This community has 27, and they'll tell me exactly how much incentive money is still left on that home. And sometimes there's a realtor bonus, and guess what? I will share that realtor bonus with you if there is one. Absolutely happy to do that. Here is another one, 2,500 square feet, 520. Yeah, 520 right here at Ventana. Okay, look at that, 469. This is a 2,000 square foot home. It was 545. Okay, it was 545. Now we're down to 470. Okay, move-in ready. It's ready to go. 20 minutes from downtown, 20 or so minutes to Lockheed. It's a great location for people who are working at Lockheed. Let's see if we can find another one here. Some of these are higher because they're larger. Okay, these are, here's 509, 510, 2,000 square feet, 503, 2,000 square feet. And this is 4-bedroom, 3 baths, probably has a study because they usually do. It's like 10 or 12 foot ceilings. Their homes are so beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I've done a lot of videos of Perry Homes. Go back to the channel and you can see a lot of those. I've been to most of their communities. 505. Oh my gosh, this is a fire sale on Perry. And you know, if I could tell you one builder, that's a value. You're gonna get luxury quality for right around $500,000. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, so pretty good on that. So then we go out to Reunion, which is in Rhome, which is northwest, about 40 minutes to downtown. Okay, so let's see what Rhome is doing. Same size lot, 50-foot lot in a big master plan community. It's up and coming. It's, you know, everything's getting done right now. Look at this. So even cheaper. And we're further out. Okay, so 2,500 square feet, 455, 2,300 square feet, 454, 479, 429, 2,000 at 429. And let's see if we have any lower than that. No, so that's what Reunion has for this size. Now, Reunion has a bigger size. See if I can find that one. Oh gosh, I gotta go all the way back out. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, Reunion 6070. So this is like 3-car tandem garage size. These are beautiful. And now we're going over the 500, but I just got to show you. Okay, so 3,000 square feet, 3-car tandem garage. Yep, 3-car tandem. Yeah, so they've got a couple in the 60, 70-foot lots. The home I sold for $629 that they came down $20,000. That was at Ventana. It was a Perry home on a 70-foot lot. Beautiful home, amazing deal. Blinds, full appliance package. Oh, I forgot the hardware, the poles, epoxy on the garages, usually about $2,000-$3,000, just the epoxy. Okay, blinds, all of that and then went down on the price, down. We got a heck of a deal on that home. Coventry, this is the builder. As you can see, that was doing the 2.99, 3.99, 4.99. This is on inventory homes. And so my buyer saw the inventory home that they really wanted. They flew from across the country to see it in person. We did a FaceTime walkthrough. Then they came, they saw, they signed, they made sure, when they came in person. And then we just closed on that on the 23rd. And so they're extremely happy. I provided their blinds. That was my incentive. Remember, I do that. I'm doing that with a Bloomfield home that's going to be completed in February, March timeframe. I'm going to be doing the blinds for them. So people have asked me when they've called, what's your incentive? And it depends, okay? It absolutely depends on the situation. It depends on what the builder is already providing or not. It depends on what they need. So I don't have a standard fixed anything, okay? I don't have a percentage. I don't have anything like that. I see what's happening with the deal, and then we figure out the best incentive to help complement what the builder is doing for you. After we've negotiated, after we've got the prices down, after we've done everything we could do, what else can I provide? And that is what I try to provide for you that you're not going to get if you don't work with me. So I hope all of this information was helpful. And this is Elizabeth D'Oliva. This is the Fort Worth Home Tours. Connect with me. I'd love to help you figure out if I'm the right person you want to work with. You can look at my Google reviews and decide for yourself. We can have a conversation. It's really where it starts is let's talk. Let's have a conversation. I can ask you some questions. We can see if it's a good fit. And then I can go to work for you. And when I say go to work for you, I mean 110%, because that's the only speed I know when I'm working with clients. I give you my best, absolute highest and best service. And I will always do that. And I love doing that and helping you find the home that you're looking for, the best home for you in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, especially on the Fort Worth side, which is my favorite side of town. So again, this is Elizabeth D'Oliva. This is the Fort Worth Home Tours. Connect with me. Details are below of how to do that. And until next time, and when you come into town, I hope to show you around.